Milo's Adventure, The Secrets of the Singing Dunes. The sun was just beginning to rise over the vast, golden desert, casting long shadows across the endless sea of sand dunes. The air was still cool, but Milo, the adventurous mouse, knew that it wouldn't stay that way for long. With his backpack securely strapped on and a canteen of water slung over his shoulder, he set off to explore this new and mysterious part of the world. Milo had heard rumors of the Singing Dunes, a place deep within the desert where the sands themselves were said to hum and sing with the wind. No one knew why or how, but the legend was enough to ignite Milo's curiosity. He had traveled far from the enchanted forest he called home, driven by his desire to uncover the secrets of this strange phenomenon. As Milo trekked through the desert, he marveled at the beauty of his surroundings. The dunes seemed to shift and change shape with every step, their golden crests glowing in the morning light. Occasionally, he would spot a lizard darting across the sand or a hawk soaring high overhead. But otherwise, the desert was quiet and still, as if holding its breath. After several hours of walking, Milo reached the edge of a particularly tall dune. He paused to catch his breath and take a sip of water. As he stood there, he heard something, faint, but unmistakable. It was a low, melodic hum, almost like the sound of a distant flute. Milo's heart raced with excitement. He was close. Climbing to the top of the dune, Milo looked out over a vast expanse of sand, shimmering in the heat. The sound was stronger now, filling the air with an eerie, otherworldly melody. Milo followed the sound down the dune and across the desert floor, his small feet sinking into the warm sand. As he walked, the humming grew louder, more complex, almost like a choir of voices singing in harmony. The sound seemed to be coming from all around him, as if the dunes themselves were alive and singing. Milo felt a shiver of excitement. He had found the Singing Dunes. The source of the sound, however, was still a mystery. Milo knew he had to investigate further. He continued walking until he reached a cluster of unusually shaped dunes. These were different from the others, taller and steeper, their sides rippling like waves frozen in time. The humming was loudest here, resonating through the air and vibrating beneath his feet. Milo set down his backpack and began to climb the nearest dune, using his hands and feet to scramble up the steep slope. As he reached the top, he was greeted by a breathtaking sight. Below him, nestled in the valley between the dunes, was a hidden oasis. The oasis was small but lush, with palm trees swaying gently in the breeze and a clear pool of water reflecting the sky. But what caught Milo's attention was the large, ancient stone at the center of the oasis. The stone was covered in strange, swirling symbols that seemed to pulse with light. As Milo descended the dune and approached the stone, the humming grew louder, more intense, until it seemed to fill his entire being. Milo realized that the sound was coming from the stone itself, resonating through the ground and into the dunes. He knelt beside it, tracing the symbols with his fingers. The stone was warm to the touch, and as he ran his fingers over the symbols, the humming changed, becoming deeper and more melodic. Milo's eyes widened as he understood. The stone was some kind of ancient instrument, designed to harness the power of the wind and the sands to create music. The Singing Dunes were not just a natural phenomenon, they were the result of an ancient and forgotten civilization, one that had understood the power of sound and nature. With great care, Milo began to experiment with the stone, pressing different symbols and listening to the changes in the music. Each symbol produced a different tone, a different melody, and as Milo played, the dunes around him seemed to respond, their shapes shifting and changing with the music. For hours, Milo played the stone, losing himself in the music and the magic of the Singing Dunes. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the desert, Milo finally sat back, exhausted but exhilarated. He had uncovered the secret of the Singing Dunes, a secret that had been buried in the sands for centuries. As the last light of day faded from the sky, Milo packed up his things and began the long journey back to the enchanted forest. He knew that this was a story he would tell for the rest of his life, a tale of discovery, adventure, and the incredible power of music. And as he walked, the desert continued to sing, its ancient melodies echoing across the sands, a reminder of the secrets that still lay hidden in the world.